4 years ago, Deion Sanders took a college football head coaching job. The sport will never be the same. Prime Time was well known for his successful and flashy playing career. He coached a bit at the high school level and soon got the head coaching job at Jackson State, an HBCU. He famously flipped Travis Hunter, the #1 player in the country, from his alma mater, Florida State. He also got to coach his sons, Shedeur and Shiloh. Deion coached the Tigers for 3 seasons and only lost 6 games. It was clear he knew what he was doing. The draw of playing for Deion was through the roof. And then Colorado called. Deion made the switch to the FBS to coach the Buffaloes, and a lot of guys followed, like Travis, Shedeur, and Shiloh. After going 4-8 last season, the Buffs just went 9-3 to make a bowl game. It's unprecedented. There had never been a Deion Sanders, but there will be more. The key to success is the copycat, and it's happening. Norfolk State hired Michael Vick to be its next head coach, and Delaware State did the same with DeSean Jackson. It may only be the tip of the iceberg. One day, Vick and DeSean could be coaching at the FBS level. What Deion has done has unequivocally changed the game forever. Deion Sanders has been in the spotlight for a very long time. He was a good player. He went to North Fort Myers in Florida and then went to Florida State, where he played under Bobby Bowden. He was a beast there and is in the College Football Hall of Fame and NFL Hall of Fame. He eventually went on to be the 5th pick to the Falcons at the 1989 NFL Draft. He was a 6-time All-Pro, was a Defensive Player of the Year, and won the Super Bowl twice. It was actually in back-to-back seasons. After 5 seasons in Atlanta, he won a ring with the 49ers and the next year with the Cowboys, who he played with for 5 seasons. He spent a single season getting overpaid by the Redskins and ended his career with 2 seasons in Baltimore. Worth noting, Deion also played baseball. He had a 9-year part-time career. He played for the Yankees, Braves, Reds twice, and Giants. It just shows how much of a freak athlete he was. After his playing days, Deion was an NFL analyst. He was the head coach at Prime Prep, which he did co-found. He was the head coach at AAA Academy for 2 seasons, and then became the offensive coordinator at Trinity Christian, where he was able to coach his sons, Shedeur and Shiloh. After, he took college football by storm. He accepted the Jackson State head coaching job and brought Shedeur and Shiloh with him. He also flipped Travis Hunter, who was the #1 player in the country. Travis was expected to go to Florida State and flipped in what is probably the biggest signing day shock ever. After a weird COVID season, the Tigers went 11-2 and won the SWAC. In 2022, Jackson State won the SWAC again and went 12-1. It was a quick turnaround from Deion, but he wanted more. He took the head coaching gig at Colorado, and after a 4-8 season where the Buffaloes went 1-8 in conference play, Colorado turned around to go 9-3 and make the Alamo Bowl. 2 of the top picks at the 2025 NFL Draft are going to be Colorado guys: Deion Sanders and Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter. They have a chance to be the top 2 picks. That alone shows how great of a job Deion did at Colorado. He turned around Jackson State in a hurry and made Colorado relevant again. Even with Shedeur and Travis leaving, Deion already has other high-end talent coming to Boulder. It was hard to miss what Deion Sanders did at Jackson State and Colorado. He turned around the programs really fast and was in the spotlight. If something works, others will copy it, and it's already happening. Michael Vick hasn't played in the NFL since 2015. It's been a while. He was clearly interested in coaching after his playing days. He was a coaching intern for the Chiefs during 2017 training camp. Andy Reid, who coached Vick in Philadelphia, knew he wanted to coach. He ended up taking an analyst role on Fox NFL Kickoff. He did also serve as the offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Legends, an Alliance of American Football team, in 2018. It doesn't seem like he's done any other big-time coaching since, but the Spartans are giving him a shot. He isn't a random guy. People know Michael Vick, and people definitely know Michael Vick in Norfolk and Virginia Beach area. I live decently close to Virginia Beach and the Hampton Roads area, but nationally, it's not always known just how dominant the 757 is. Cam Chancellor, Bruce Smith, Plaxico Burress, D'Angelo Hall, Darryl Tapp, Percy Harvin, Gerard Mayo, Tyrod Taylor, Lawrence Taylor. I could go on forever. Even Mike Tomlin and Allen Iverson are from the 757. It's a hotbed, and everyone there knows Michael Vick. It's the best talent in the state of Virginia, and Vick could do something special. He was incredible at Warwick, went to Virginia Tech, led the Hokies to a national championship appearance, and was the #1 pick at the 2001 NFL Draft. draft. He was fun to watch and had a lot of success as a young quarterback for the Falcons, but served time in prison after he reached a plea deal and admitted to financing and participating in dogfights known as Bad News Kennels. After he was released, he returned to the league in 2009 and spent 5 seasons with the Eagles. He spent 1 with the Jets and Steelers each before he hung it up. The Eagles' tenure is how I remember Michael Vick. I went to Virginia Tech, and he is the guy. I know he was flashy for the Falcons, but I remember him beating the crap out of Washington for so long. And of course, the Monday Night Massacre. Washington lost 59-28. Donovan McNabb was the Redskins quarterback after he was traded there. It was ugly. It was one of the earliest games I can recall. I was 10, and I remember Vick aired it out on the first play, and bang. DeSean Jackson, 88-yard touchdown. So many years later, and those two are coaching at an HBCU following the Deion Sanders blueprint. DeSean Jackson officially retired just a year ago with the Eagles on a 1-day contract, but last played for the Ravens in 2022. His journey mirrors Deion Sanders a good bit. He was the offensive coordinator at Woodrow Wilson Classical, a high school in Long Beach, California. Now he makes the journey back to the East Coast, where he was so good as a pro, and to coach at Delaware State. DeSean has always been a freak of nature. He was incredible at Long Beach Poly and Cal. He was surprisingly only a 2nd-round pick at the 2008 draft. A lot of scouts were worried about how small he was. He now owns the record for most career touchdowns of 60+ yards and is tied for the most of 80+ yards. He was so electric for the Eagles. I mean, I hated him. He crushed Washington every time, but he was so much fun to watch. He is the greatest deep ball wide receiver ever. He came and played for Washington for 3 seasons and had the last 2 1,000-yard seasons of his career there. He played 2 seasons for the Buccaneers and 2 more for the Eagles before he bounced around to the Rams, Raiders, and Ravens. DeSean Jackson is one of the dudes whose highlight reels will never die. He was special, and now we get to see what he can do as a coach. Deion Sanders did start the wave, but Vick and DeSean aren't the first to follow. Eddie George did first. He was a beast at Ohio State back in the day and immediately won Offensive Rookie of the Year in 1996. He played during the 4-season stretch where it was the Houston Oilers, Tennessee Oilers for 2, and then Tennessee Titans. He was incredible for an 8-year stretch and last played for the Cowboys in 2004. I certainly don't remember watching him play, but I knew he was a legend. He was hired by Tennessee State in 2021, 1 season after Deion started at Jackson State. Season 1, the Tigers went 5-6. Tennessee went just 9-4, tied for 2nd in the Big South OVC, and made the FCS postseason. George was named the Conference Coach of the Year. The method has worked. It's already worked for Deion Sanders, who had a big jump, and Eddie George, who has stuck it out at an HBCU. It's made smaller programs a lot more interesting, and it's 100% good for the game. I feel like I have to drive out to Norfolk and see Michael Vick coach next year. It's just really cool, and it's time to see if Michael Vick and DeSean Jackson can do what Deion Sanders did and what Eddie George has already had some success with. Make no mistake, Deion Sanders has changed the game forever.